We're live at 5. Hi, patrons, if you're the first people in there. There's some other people in there already. I can't believe it.
We're not live at 5, we're live at 6.
We're live at 6 because we're a bunch of... Never mind. The Jobies all higgledy-piggledy. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Just get this all nice. How are you, people? What have you been up to? Tell your Uncle Henchy. I'm really interested. Shut this door. Boom. Sam Jones is in the house. Whoosh. Been watching me on the old YouTube vids and commenting. Thank you very much. Sophie Sarah's in the house and Nathan Richardson. And Tired Mum. Those kids are running you ragged and you deserve some you time. Oh, I just don't know. Chickpea Sonny's in the house, as per always. And Lou Fussy, thank you for joining, guys, and always supporting me. Bouncing Brandon's in the house. Have I seen you before? I think you might be new. One kid, one real energetic kid by the sounds of it. Mr. Lou's in the house. Pigeon Extremist. Hi. Let me find you on my computer so I can see your messages. Oh, God. Gemma is the voice from beyond this evening. She'll be pressing buttons and that. I want to try to, my new video, which I dropped about 24 hours ago, is doing pretty well. But I need people to, you don't have to watch it now, but if any of you don't mind to play it in another window, like play it through, it'd really help the analytics, sorry, the algorithm, because it's on the verge of going pretty viral, but it's not quite there. So that Princess of the Unicorns is in the house. Wow. Guys, check her out. She's like a female hen herbivore. She's got all them muscles and she eats really well. And she's a lovely, lovely person. That makes it sound like I think I'm a nice person. I'm not a nice person. I'm a bad person. Where were we? Lawrence Eggleson's in the house, as per normal. Yeah, don't forget to thumb up the stream, guys. That'd be really beneficial. I shall thumb up my own stream while I'm at it. Harry Lewis is in the house. Lovely Izzy, as I said. Jane R. Nice to see you too, my friend. Yeah, Chickpea Sonny, I'm pretty good. I've had a lovely day. Been working hard. Got to hang out with a few peeps shortly this afternoon as well. That was quite nice. And now we're all with all you lovely people. And Yasmin's Conscious Kitchen is in the house. Check her out on the Facebooks if you want some delicious, healthful snack treats. Gemma, yes. Guess who's sending us some snack treats?
Oh yeah, you said about that.
Yeah, she's got our new address, and I think they'll be coming any time now.
Oh, lovely.
Vegan Tina's in the house. Yes, and Junie. Have I seen you before, my friend? Welcome to the stream, everyone. Graven Baby's in the house with her little wrench as well. Yeah, we're having a good time, thank you, hun. Bohemian B, even Mr. Hench and Gemma, the voice from beyond. Hi. Please tell my partner to wake up. He's fallen. Wake up, man!
That was scary.
Did you know the Hench Herbivore show's on? I don't know. Bouncing Brandon, I've just recently ticked your bell. Oh, thank you, because I started really enjoying your content, but you probably see me in debating comments on with vegan games and ask yourself, okay, you're one of these debater ones. That's very good. We need people all doing our little parts. Very nice. Mr. Lou's going to do it now. I'm guessing you mean watch or just play the new video. It's got that Philip Schofield in there. I don't know, he's not really up for the vegan thing, is he? I used to like him back in the day when he hung out with Sivhead and Gordon T. Gopher in the broom cupboard. Since then, he's gone all anti-kindness, anti-vegan. Did you see when Earthling Ed was on and he said to Earthling Ed, oh, if you sort of push me too hard, I'm likely to go and eat a sausage. Good job he wasn't campaigning against like people harming children and stuff like that, eh? Or he'd go and smack a kid around. a very weird thing to say, Philip Schofield, if you stop and think about it. Oh, yeah. Izzy said, I am nice. You little fibber. No, I think I'm quite nice now. I used to be not a nice person, but luckily that train has sailed. Oscar Stefan's in the house. Howdy. Oh, God, this has jumped. Tick me silently. Shouldn't you be more careful with videos and try not to drop them? I get it. Oh, and Gem's put my little video in there. Thank you. Thanks, Kathy. You're very kind and welcome to the stream. Mr. Lee, what did you think about the Vegan 2018, the film? I thought it was really, really good. And you can see that we're really getting places. But it was the first year that I wasn't in it. So I didn't like it one little bit. Should be in a little series of videos with plant-based news, though. They done a lot of bodybuilder interviews, so I got in on that. So hopefully they'll use my little bit in some of these videos. So that'd be nice. Lucy Watson was amazing on this morning. Yeah, she was so chill. She just said the little she needed to say and let the farmer just stand there stammering and stuttering and groping for a way to say, you know, we nicely slit the turkey's throats. Yeah, she was brilliant. Daniel's in the house. Kate Bernie. Hi, lovely. CT Fit in the place. Hi, Jeannie. I met you at VegFest in London. Oh, it's hard with these little avatars. It's really hard to see people. But that's very cool. What a great festival that was. Had the best time. Z is in the house. Josh Donnelly, yes, mate. Love the smackdown in the last vid. Thank you. I did have fun. I don't dislike doing those videos. I prefer to advocate from a place of like love and compassion and connectivity. And of course, when you're a bit more attacking like that, it does, you know, you're just clashing heads. But those videos do so much better than all my other videos. So, you know, I kind of see them as a means to an end to grow my platform and then to, I mean, I dare say it may help some people find veganism, does it? Like just being a bit more matter of fact about it and stop pussyfooting about. But I'm sure it puts a lot of people off in a way as well, you know. But on aggregate, I hope it's working. It's certainly growing the channel so much bigger. So that's the sort of new plan, really, this last sort of month or so. Sophie, I went to an open dairy farm around Halloween. It was pretty sad. Yeah, those poor calves, like you want to be with their mums and get a ball gone through the head instead. Sorry, I've just lost my place again. American vegan truckers in the house. Hello, my friend. Are you new to these here parts? What's up, Vegan Fellowship? I like that. Vegan Tino. I need to start uploading my own response videos to these anti-vegan trolls. Yeah, they do really well, these videos. So I think it's a good way to go. What would Gordon the Gopher make of all of this? Exactly. Exactly. I'd be scared for my life if I was their animal around Philip Schofield. Certainly wouldn't want him sitting my cats, for instance. Sophie, they had a burger barn and it was right across from the animals. Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Carlos is in the house. How do you ever eat pizza? I did eat one fairly recently, actually, at Bingham House, which is a big vegan restaurant in Norwich, really nice. I try not to eat like the more processed foods. And certainly you can make healthful pizzas with like, what, quinoa base or something? We used to make one, or did Red make it, and it was really good. You can do it, but I would really avoid oil and like coconut-based cheeses and things like that. It's really not good. Stephen, hey man, any advice on what to do on training off days? Any advice on what to do or when you're not training? You know, get some movement in, like call it like active recovery, like maybe go for a big old swim or a nice walk in anywhere, like any sort of a walk, but if you can get in nature is really good for us. Keep a bit active, I say, but don't do anything too strenuous, you know, because you want to be recovering. Bohemian Bee, thank you. Beloved woke up laughing. That's cool. Livia, new vegan hair, finding bananas too sweet. Is that normal? No, that is really unusual. I mean, they are sweet, but most people eat, you know, like a sort of, that's what we call the standard Western diet. We've just got sugar and stuff in. So that's pretty unusual, in all honesty, yes. But that's good. You know, if you find them sweet, you'll probably be unlikely to eat, you know, like sugar and stuff. So it's got to be a lot healthier. Vegan Tina, you said that train has sailed. I think you meant that ship was... No, I meant that ship has flown. Sorry, that ship has flown. That's what I meant to say. That was a quote from Austin Powers, I think. I think that was Austin Powers said that for comic effect. What's your favourite genre of music? I was well into hip-hop for many, many, many years. And now I've kind of gone off it because it's all a bit like ego, like just aggressive showing off nonsense by and large, isn't it? So I don't really listen to a lot of music now. I guess when I'm training, I like something pretty heavy, like some real sort of hardcore dubstep or like drum and bass. But that's just, I like the feeling it gives me to train to. I don't really listen to music for music's sake nowadays. CT Fit, hey Hens, yesterday coach delivery guys came to my house. I was cooking tofu. Said, was that good smell? I said tofu. Then he said, oh, I'm not much for seafood. Oh dear, people. Oh, Glinster 1, thank you, Henshubber, will you tell me vegan? Is that a fact? That's very cool. You've just made my day, my friend. Thank you. Carlos has sent me a message on the Instas. I shall have a look a bit later on. Smudgelina, what martial arts have you trained and what got you started in them? So I started in Shotokan Karate, got up to about to grade for my 4th Dan black belt, but I tore my meniscus and just never ended up going back to it, got into bodybuilding. Western boxing, kickboxing, BJJ, MMA, a couple of other little bits and pieces. Kapap, which is like a Krav offshoot. What got me started? Insecurity, not knowing how to stand up for myself, being like a bit of a wimp, being easily intimidated, and got pretty fed up with it. So I made a change. Good question. Josh, have you got any tips for rounded shoulders? You know, train all the 3 heads, you know, sometimes I'll do the compounds first in the workout because that's the biggest bang for the buck. But then I'll go on to my rear delts because so many people don't have much hanging out the back there. Maybe they're done at the end of the session as an afterthought when you've not got much energy. So I tend to go compounds, couple of like maybe dumbbell presses, so accentuate the medial heads, and then something like an Arnie to just burn out like the front and side. Then, like I say, pick 2 or 3 movements for the rear delts. Then I'll go on to side delts because they tend to lag relative to anterior, which we use a lot on sort of chest presses and things. And yeah, just train all the heads. Use the priority principle. If one head is lagging, train that first. Generally, as I say, it's the rear delts are lagging, then the side delt. So I'll go in that order, really. Some great exercises I really enjoy, like an Egyptian side lateral raise, where you've got staggered feet and you're leaning away from the cable, and you've got cable between your legs, and you've got just time under tension is huge. It's constant tension because there's a cable, and the range of motion is so much bigger. So my shoulders this year have really blown up, and it's having my shoulders protracted when I do rear delt movements instead of letting my shoulder move back and turn on the rhomboids, turn off the rear delts. This is Egyptian side lateral raise. I'll do an inclined front dumbbell raise as well. So again, I'm starting under a stretch, you know, not just with my arms by my side, the arms are behind me. Again, more range of motion, more propensity for hypertrophy, really. Happy, yo, what's up? Found your channel recently, really interesting stuff and good points. Join some vegan curry. Good choice, and thank you for your kind words. Ooh. Right, this has just really jumped again. I did see earlier my man Goji Man is in the place to be. If you like vegan nutrition advice, Goji Man, one of the best in the business, do go and subscribe to him right now. Don't leave the stream, but do open another window and subscribe to him. You will love his stuff. Good to see you in here. How are you, Simon? You well, my friend?
And somebody just donated some...
Da, 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 da.
I don't know what currency.
Super. That is Krona.
Oh.
20 Krona. Frederick Denimar. I'm rubbish at Scandinavian type names. Thank you so much for your kindness. You know, this always helps to just keep me working online more than having to do PT. You know, I can put more time into live streams and videos. And this is my life purpose. So you help me live my life purpose. It's so huge to me. You'll never know how much I appreciate it, Frederick. Thank you so much. And let me know if you have any question or whatever. You get to jump to the top of the queue for your lovely kindness. Simon says, all good, thanks, Henge. Just get my weekly fix. Oh, thank you, brother. You're really kind. I guess we're hooking up fairly soon, eh? Looking forward to that a great deal. Right, where were we? Do you know, guys, I'm going to jump forwards in the stream a little bit because I can see that I'm a little bit behind. If you want me to answer your comments or questions, put them back in the chat again. Hopefully I'll get round to him this time around. Gemma brings up a good point. Get my vest there. Plant-based goons, baby. Representing. Ah, my wife wants a gym session. We'll do it. We'll do it. That'll be really nice. You're off both of those days where Simon said he could come down, aren't you?
Yeah, not on my course.
We'll make a good old day of
I'd
it.
love to meet you guys.
Yeah, we'll get some vegan eats and we'll get a session in.
Yeah.
We should do a collabo maybe if we have time. If we have time, I'll leave that up to you. Right. Where shall I go to? Right. Eripto with some cool typography. I'm not sure how you do that. Do you ever get tired of the beep, but protein though, etc. arguments? Yeah. I heard it all like a million times before, eh? Sean, anyone hear about Tim Allen's passing? TMZ reporting suicide. Who is Tim Allen? I'm unfamiliar. Keep Dragon. Daniel, wrong. The vegan diet left me with deficiencies. I will say you're wrong and your poor application of a plant-based diet left you with deficiencies. If you'd have been more clever about it, you could have hired a nutritionist such as myself, and I could have explained to you that heme iron, although more readily absorbable, leads to cancer, diabetes, heart disease. Whereas if you're eating a whole foods plant-based diet in the correct range of all the different plant foods, you'll get adequate iron without going over, without producing hydroxyl radicals, which are the worst of the free radicals, doing you no good whatsoever. When we put in plant iron, when we've got enough iron, our colon shuts down the absorption of it to a very, very large degree, except it can't do it with heme iron. And so at that point, you're really harming yourself. You know, people say the same things about, oh, carotenoids have a low conversion rate into, you know, vitamin A, retinol. And that's true. But the animals we eat to get that vitamin A, They have a low conversion rate too, yet it's in there. When we eat preformed animal versions of these nutrients, you know, arachidonic acid, cholesterol, retinol, heme iron, kills us, is harming us. When we eat the plant version, we just absorb what we need. We make the heme iron, the arachidonic acid, the cholesterol that we need, but we don't give us enough to give us the diseases of affluence. About 75% of people that you know will die from eating animal products and processed plant foods. If you eat adequately of the whole plant foods, it is the healthiest diet in the world, clinically proven time and time and time again. The amount of evidence is overwhelming at this point. Yes, there are counter studies. Look at who funded them. The Egg Board, dairy, you know, meat manufacturers. There is no big broccoli. Universities fund studies, you know, places like this. They find out the truth, and then you get the counter study funded by this, by the industries that stand to profit from your ignorance. Do yourself a favor, nutritionfacts.org for free. Find out the latest in nutrition science, not from people who are trying to sell you anything, just people who are trying to make you well. Rant over. Harry Lewis, what nutrition training do you have? What would you recommend to increase my... Do you know, nutrition facts? I've got a diploma in nutrition, not worth the paper it's written on. It was horrible. It was misinformation. It was terrible. Nutritionfacts.org, you know, the books by all the plant-based doctors, you know, like Pleasure Trap, How Not to Die, Proteinaholic, you know, Garth Davis, Dr. Michael Clapper, Alan Goldhammer, you know, Caldwell Esselstyn, just absorb all of that. As far as I know, like the only decent plant-based nutrition training I've heard of is the eCornell one. It's online. It's only a certificate and it's about $1,000. It's very expensive. I don't know if Goji Man might have a perspective on a better plant-based qualification, or whether if you have to go the sort of nutritionist/dietitian route to, you know, get a decent qualification. And then, but you know, as I say, I learned all my stuff for myself, really. I got this online qualification. Wasn't worth the paper it was written on, but I've got that bit of paper, you know, and I am a nutritionist. And you know, a lot of nutritionists tell you you need to eat meat and dairy. It's terrible. I think the average untrained vegan who's eating mostly whole foods has a much better diet than the average nutritionist who is omnivorous. You know, it's not rocket science, really. Kerry Beveridge, you just had a shout out, you lovely girl. I remember you. Excuse me one second, I'm getting a little bit dry. This stream is sponsored by Vivo Life, chocolate perform protein. I can feel my muscles getting bigger already.
Look at the description.
Yeah, give it your money. No, don't buy it unless you're someone who needs a little extra protein. But if you do buy it. Where the hell has this jumped? It's jumped. Where the hell? Right, I'm just going to jump forward again because I really don't know where the hell I was or what's going on.
Because your man said save your money and read the books, unless you want to become a dietitian, then you have to do the effective course.
Yeah.
So if you were interested to know that answer.
Yeah, no, that's spot on. Marduk Killer 92. Do vegans eat more often? You know, many people eat in many different ways. You could just swig some oil down and get your calories and that would be vegan. Wouldn't be a very good health outcome. What I will say is, if you're eating the healthiest diet in the world, which is whole plant foods, there's a lot of fibre, a lot of water, so a lot more eating to do, but you'll live a hell of a lot longer. Most vegans don't eat a healthful diet, and they spend hardly any time eating, but they will still possibly get a heart disease. Get heart disease. Vegan for life glass. That's not for me.
Do you want to know something about what Cute Dragon is saying?
What's Cute Dragon saying?
He's saying that he was vegetarian for 13 years and then vegan for a year. So
Vegetarianism leaves most people bloody. What is it? They struggle with iron from excess dairy.
He's talking about having an iron problem.
Yes, that's why you've got an iron problem.
He's saying he took iron supplements, vitamin D supplements. He was raw vegan, high carb, but
I'm not a fan of raw vegan either.
But he's sort of, I think he's wondering, like, why did he still have a problem when he spent so long, like, vegetarian and then vegan for a year?
So, dairy blocks iron absorption. When I write an average plan for an average person, like a nutrition plan, they get more than 3 times, like, the iron. Don't have things that block it, like tea and stuff at the same sitting. What else with iron? Yeah, that vegetarian thing. So often I coach people and they come from a vegetarian background and they're just iron stores are through the floor because of the dairy. That is the biggest thing I'd say. Oh, it's jumped again. Vegan for life. Hence, did you see the Raw Within's video completely trashing you, called a vegan diet? And here's a lunatic's fetish follower. Nah, I just don't entertain him. Like, he is a silly boy in my view. Race leaver. What's your take? Blah, blah. Bloody blah. Go to man, right? Unfortunately, my wife is making me watch The Grinch now. Christmas has arrived. Oh, I feel your pain, brother. Enjoy. Glass ceiling. Have you any advice on a very painful sternum? I sometimes can't do press ups due to the pain. Seems to ease off with fasting, so I'm guessing it's due for inflammation. I don't really know. I would seek professional advice on that one to see what you've done there. It's unusual to get like a sort of pain in your bones. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what that might be. But if it's not going away, I would maybe speak to a doc or something. Matthias is in France. Hello, my friend. Thanks for joining. Chris Grant did my level 2 level 4 nutrition courses with BSY College. Okay. I just jumped. Right, I'm just going to skip forward a bit because I keep getting lost. Glinster, hench, what are those green sheets you eat that have iodine in them? I can't find them in here. Nori, N-O-R-I, they're pretty ubiquitous. It's the stuff that people wrap sushi in. Nori, N-O-R-I. Michelle Lowe, I was vegetarian for 30+ years. Only when I went vegan as well, how bad dairy was for my body. I'd say, if anything, dairy might be the worst, to be honest. Yeah, from what I sort of understand now. Cute Dragon again. Hench, are you trying to say there? Yeah, I followed your channel for it. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Joss, I am terrible for it. Your channel inspired me to eat better. Currently, I eat once a day. Processed burgers and chips. Yeah, chips, acrylamides from the highly heated starches. It's a suspected carcinogen, the same as, like red meat and whatever, which is a carcinogen. I would expect. Cute Dragon is not a he.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Cute Dragon.
I apologise. Did I say he?
I think you may have done.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry.
Oh, I just can't keep up. What? Oh, we have got 118 people in the room, I suppose. We've got 122 thumbs up. What? Oh no, that's people. Oh no, it's 38 thumbs up. I can't read. Guys, if you don't mind to thumb up the stream, it would really, really help me. And I think you're a really good person. Mariana, do you write plans for girls aspiring to do bikini? Like Fit Chef, Natalie Matthews. Yeah, I mean, I've got a good idea, like, what that entails. But I will say, you know, if you're really looking to compete, like, I've never had any experience of that. So I'd say probably you'd be better off hiring someone like a specialist. But, you know, if you're more like just wanting to work on your physique with no aspirations to particularly competing or whatever, you know, I'm sure I do know plenty. So I'm sure I can help. But, you know, if you're really serious, I'd consider maybe going to a specialist. And that is just me being honest. Mother Killer, thanks for the last response. You're welcome. What do you recommend for a fast breakfast smoothie? If you get like a magic bullet, are they called magic bullets or magi bullets? Magic bullet or whatever. So you get your little container thing with the whizzer upper. Whack in, you know, some sort of fluid. Something for sweetness. I like dried fruits like dates, things like that. Whack some berries for a good hit of antioxidants. Bit of flax and or chia seeds for the omega-3s. Bit of oats, so you got some slow burning calories. If you're a hard training athlete, maybe a scoop of protein, such as Vivo Life Perform, link in the description. Give it away. That's about it, really. Maybe some greens. I might have said that already. Yep, that would be decent. And take it with you. I'll drink it on the way. Why do you laugh? William Watson, are you Lucy's brother? She did an amazing job on Good Morning. Hello all, I haven't made the jump yet, but we'll get onto it soon. Good man. My question is, can I achieve a good physique without the use of supplements? Understand. So, you know, I use a couple of scoops of protein powder. For the masses, like, you certainly don't need it in the beginning, but as you get a bit more muscle mass than the average bear, it could be a benefit to, like, add that in. Equally, you might get away without using it, but you'd have to go pretty heavy on legumes, like, you know, lentils, chickpeas, split peas, beans, and the like, is what I'll say. D3, like in the winter months, if you're not getting sun, and you know, that boosts your free testosterone by lowering your sex hormone binding globulin. So, you know, it just gives you what you should be getting. So, you know, you'll be able to train a lot better. That helps you keep lean as well. Yeah, B12, D3, maybe a protein powder if you want to. One other thing I recommend for everyone is an EPA DHA tablet, just in case you're one of the rare individuals who has trouble elongating the plant version into the animal version of omega-3. Maybe a bit of seaweed just for the iodine. But other than that, whole plant foods, you're on to a winner. Catherine Murnane is in Ireland. Hi, thanks for joining. How's the vegan scene where you are? Beautiful vegan. Have you seen the new doco? Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was very sort of inspirational and what's the phrase I'm looking? Just renewed my faith that we are getting somewhere. Disappointed that I wasn't in it this year because I think I've been in the last two. So I shall be boycotting plant-based news going forward. No, I'm just kidding. No, I thought it was great. What did you guys think of it? Oh, Bonnie Hundley's in the house. Hi, Hun. Thanks for joining. American Vegan Trucker. What are your views on homemade seitan? I don't know a whole lot about it. I mean, it obviously is processed, so it's not going to have... Why did that just flash up about... Let me just check that I'm not using my data up. 1 second, sorry. Oh, it's not going to do it. Oh, I'll just keep going anyway. Do you know I bumped into this bodybuilder today in the town, and he looks a hell of a lot like me. In fact, he said he got mistaken for me a few nights ago. He was out dancing on the old dance floor, having a drink or whatever, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, someone thought he was me because he's vegan as well and looks like me. That's pretty funny. But he was saying he swears by the old Satan. He loves it, so doesn't look like it's doing him any harm. Why is this jumping? I just can't keep up at all with the comments. Thank you, awesome AI 360. You are amazing. Christers, think you could ever do a live debate with a carnist or just not into such things? I think I get too irritated by the idiocy, to be honest. I'm not a great one for keeping my cool a lot of the time. I think someone like Earthling Ed would be a better choice. Certainly wouldn't like to be sitting across from Philip Schofield. I don't think that would go down well. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you could get wound up, and I think people could spot that in you and do it purposefully.
They do try to trigger vegans right from the off, don't they, in these shows?
And I think that, you know, it could go bad if someone makes you really angry.
It could go bad for Philip Schofield. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a lovely guy. Jack, I just had a blood test after being vegan for a year and had high iron. Wow. I take VegVit multivitamin. Should I be worried? Yeah, you don't want high iron. Like, it's a double-edged sword. We want some if we go over. I mean, I don't know with plant iron. I guess it would be harmful. It's not as toxic as heme iron, but yeah, like in meta-analysis, multivitamin minerals, if you look at all the best studies, pull them together, which is what meta-analysis is, most studies find no benefit to multivitamins, multiminerals. A couple of studies did find benefit. Most studies find no benefit. A few studies find harm. And so really we should just be eating the whole plant foods, you know. Through the course of a day, we want some legumes, some whole grains, some vegetables, different colours, bit of fruit, bit of nuts and seeds. Don't go overboard on fats. Certainly no oil. And in that way, if you're eating a calorically adequate diet, you'll probably smash all your micronutrients. On average, vegetables are 16 times more nutrient dense than meat, and that's according to Harvard. Yes, we need to supplement B12 because we're not drinking dirty water that gives us infectious diseases now. If we're not getting sun, we need to get D3 because we're not getting enough of that from the sun. Other than that, you know, you shouldn't have to take a multi. You really shouldn't. It's probably doing more harm than good. And yeah, in all honesty, I would be worried and I would definitely cut that out. It's good that you're having tests. I would invite you to eat whole plant foods for a while. Yeah, try to eat, you know, nearly all your calories as whole plant foods. As I say, get this range of different ones. Get another test down the road without a multi, but do take B12, D3, maybe DHA if you want as a fail-safe. And make sure to get some seaweed or an iodine supplement. But other than that, probably vitamin C, beta-carotene, you know, pharmaceutically created, you know, synthetic ones, chemically made in the lab, tend to cause harm. It's not real food. Just can't believe people have thumbed this down. Well, they probably saw my last video where I said thumb downs boost the views. Anyway, it's all about interaction. So they're really good people if you really think about it. Dan the Man 12, did you know that chocolate milk is made of expired milk? I'm not sure whether that may or may not be true, but I wouldn't put anything past them. I mean, that stuff gives you heart disease anyway. Bonchi dude, I am the first really good person. Oh, we've got 121 people in the house. 121, it's gone crazy.
Wow.
What did we used to get, about 50? This stream has really grown. Thank you for all your help, guys, all your love and your likes, comments and shares and all that. I liked up. Oh, Kerry Beveridge is back. I remember you. Name that film. I bet no one knows the reference. Just to put it into context, he's got the baddie in a sort of a wrist lock. I remember you. Do you know, I can't even remember the film. I know the actor. It'll come to me. It's the real cool one he was in. Marty Killer, what do you drink your protein powder with? Typically water, or make it into a smoothie in the morning with different fruits and oats and the like. Adventures for your soul. Hi, buddy, from Cornwall. I love Cornwall. Went there as a lad. David, can you do a response video to that Spherish character? No, I don't want to. Don't want to entertain him, really. He's just very, very silly. Well, I don't know. Maybe I ought to. I don't know. I don't want to bring him any traffic, really. I think if vegans stopped talking about these kindness people, I'm sure that all their channels would die a death, to be honest. That's what Goji Man was intimating after he had a chat with Daryl Eves of DarylEves.com. He really knows his stuff. Okay, what do you think of Spherish? I think he looks like a malnourished zombie. Japan Love. Hi, is there an issue with joints and cartilage on a plant-based diet and how to combat that? Whole foods, plant-based is the best diet for joints and cartilage, etc. One of my clients, and you can find the video up if you look, I think it's called Veganism versus Arthritis, reversed his osteoarthritis on a whole foods vegan diet, let alone rheumatoid, which is hugely, has a huge pro-inflammatory component. Osteo has a bit of that as well, which people didn't usually realise. And then as well, I think what happens, osteo, I think capillaries get closed up with atherosclerosis, and then, nutrients, oxygen doesn't get through to the intervertebral discs and different places. And I think that's perhaps where the arthritis starts to develop. And a whole foods vegan diet opens up these arteries again. And this is awesome. So yeah, whole plant foods, don't go too mad on the fats. Jerry Plant-Based Monsters in the house. What's up, my man? Name that reference. Rick and Morty, well done. 10 points. We're on 130 watches. It's a good job I'm not shy. Oscar, no, that's not me. I don't know anything about cycles apart from my push bike. Joe's Disley, how to boost testosterone. Well, if you've got like a normal amount of testosterone that you should have, you're not going to boost it enough to have any clinical effect, to really grow huge muscles relative to an average Joe. You're talking supra-physiological doses, like just mad steroid abuse, basically. You can boost your natural testosterone to a decent level if it is low, if you're not eating enough of the right nutrients, We do need a minimum of fat so we can make the cholesterol. That is the base material for sex hormones. And yeah, things like lifting heavy and etc. does boost testosterone, but not really enough to have a significant. You probably won't make any real difference to your physique with the little that it does. So if you've got normal test, I'm sorry, that's probably what you've got. If your test is a bit low because your diet's been naff up until now and you haven't been exercising, well, do some exercise, eat the range of whole plant foods, have a little nuts and seeds for the fats. I think zinc is important in testosterone production as well, so make sure your zinc is up to par. That's one that some vegans can be low on if they're not, you know, paying a bit of attention. You know, and get on chronometer, make sure you're hitting your minimum of all the micronutrients, you know. Really, we don't know the half of it, like all the different mechanisms in the body, millions and millions of metabolic processes. You know, we don't know the half, but if you're under eating on nutrients, well, you can be pretty sure that a lot of your systems aren't going to be up to par. So that's all I'll really say on that one. TT Racer, hi Hench before any advice for nutrition for adrenal fatigue. Nutritional fatigue. Adrenal fatigue, yeah, so you don't want to be training too hard, but equally you don't want to stop like moving if you can help it. Avoid stress as much as possible, avoid stimulants, certain supplements. Help me out, Jim, licorice root.
Ashwagandha is meant to be particularly good.
Ashwagandha,
yeah.
It's an adaptogen.
And get loads of sleep and cut stress.
Get all the sleep you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, a bit of light exercise, but don't go mad until you've got it under control, really.
Get rid of stress, big time.
Stress is the killer.
Yeah.
Just smashing those whole plant foods, they're so nourishing. Oh God, it's bloody jumped again. Right, guys, again, I'm going to skip forwards, and if I miss your comment or question, do pop it back in the chat. Well, you're all talking amongst yourselves, which is nice, really. I'm glad we've got a lovely little community on the go. Yeah, those moderators are doing a fantastic job, Gemma. Push Design the Studio. I'll be in London 15th of December till 3rd of February. Vegan events happening. I don't know of any at this stage, I'm afraid. There is a Facebook page called London Vegans. Might be worth a little look. Jack, answer. What was that supplement for adrenal fatigue? Maybe the one you missed was ashwagandha. Ashwagandha. You can type that into the...
I've already typed it.
Oh, well done. Yeah, and that's an adaptogen. It's a base ingredient for a lot of different Ayurvedic medicines. And it just can help balance your hormones. Some people say like a bit of sea salt as well, do they?
Yes.
Nourish the adrenals. You probably don't want to go mad on it. And what else was it?
Licorice root.
Licorice root. Anything else?
No.
That's about the size of it. Dennis, do you take post-workout, Paul? I have a protein shake and just a ton of food, basically. Yasmin, sometimes I hit a PB in the gym and the following week I won't do as well. Any idea why I'm eating 2.8 thousand calories a day? So I can't think what could be why. So yeah, obviously your nutrition needs to be consistent. Sounds like you are. Is your fluid intake consistent? Because about a 3% dehydration would lead to about a 10% strength loss, is my understanding. So that's huge as well. You know, are your workouts consistent? Have you got the same sort of schedule? Or, you know, sometimes do things get mixed up and then maybe your triceps are tired before you're going to do your chest presses or something like that? Could that be a thing that, you know, that needs to... Basically, you need to keep everything consistent except for one variable, which typically, you're trying to add more weight onto the bar. Are you stringent with your timing? Like sometimes do you rest a bit longer than others? There's a few reasons, and then just being like underslept, mostly the same session.
Can it be like the
Period won't help. Yeah, that can be a detriment.
Takes a lot out of your body, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's all I can think of at this stage. I'll say if I think of something else. Wow! Oh, CD and the third, $100 on the super chat. Keep on keeping on, brother. Wow, thank you so much. That is so generous. And you are helping me live my purpose, as I always say, and that means the absolute world to me. Wow. Aren't people nice? Yeah. It amazes me when people come out of the blue who I can't remember speaking to CD and the third. Where are you from, brother? What are you up to? And why are you so nice? Wow. There are so many good people in the world. Ah. And have you got a question for Uncle Henry? Go to the top of the pile. Where was I? Josh Webster, general tips for a beginner at the gym. Get yourself a PT, at least for a little while. You know, I know it can be expensive. So don't think you've got to always do that. But, you know, with a PT, you'll avoid, you know, you get good lifting form. So hopefully you'll avoid hurting yourself. You know, you can have a good program planned, you know, so that you're gaining well and you've not got overlap and things like that. It's just like a cheat code. Anytime you want to do a new activity, particularly if it's important to you or there's a risk of you hurting yourself, you know, especially get yourself some professional help, you know. If you're in Norwich, come and train with me. I can't stress that highly enough. I've gone off on a tangent, and what was the question? General tips. You know, it depends on what your aim is, but for the masses, I'm a fan of push-pull leg splits. You know, if you're trying to grow mass, I like fairly low frequency. Some people argue with that, but I always see people with lower frequency seem to do the best. It's been my experience. Not saying that you can't do it with higher. General tips. Number one, if you're trying to grow muscle, eat more calories than you're burning and make sure your weight's going up a little bit each week. Or if you're trying to lose weight, make sure you're eating in a caloric deficit. What else would I say? You know, if you're being, you know, if you're cross training, you know, your general health, maybe you're trying to do some strength, some muscle builder. Maybe you're trying to get fit as well. Never do your cardio before your weights. Like, that is really dumb. So when you do your cardio, you'll be burning off your glycogen, your blood sugar. When you come to do your weights, you've got nothing to fire your muscles with. Do it the other way around. Do your weights first, using your glycogen up. Hopefully by the time you get into your cardio, maybe your blood sugar's low, so you're more likely to tap into your fat stores. So that'll be a good tactic as well. I hope that was enough valuable info. I feel like I should crack on. Jack, the vegan, just watched your video about Philip Schofield. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. I met a lady today in the city centre, and she said, she was an older lady. She was really lovely, and she said she's been vegan a year. You know, into older age, she's like seen the sense and she really gets it. She was an amazing lady. And she was really laughing about that video. She said, I really gave it to him and well done. It was so funny. Mr. Earth, hench herbivore, no equipment, full workout regime for beginners. You know, just some kind of squats or split squats with your leg up on something to make that a bit more difficult. Lunges are good, press ups, recline row if you can't do pull-ups, or pull-ups if you can. Posterior chain's a bit harder. We should be doing some kind of deadlift sort of movement pattern, so I'm not sure how you'd really do that without weights. Maybe you can do hyper extensions with someone holding your legs down and you're on like a bench or something. Bit of core. But, you know, very quickly, if you're meaning in terms of kind of bodybuilding, very quickly, like, you'll plateau and you need to be lifting heavier and heavier weights to elicit the hypertrophy. So, yeah.
Can I invite you to skip forward?
Yeah.
And can I say that CDM the third said to you, been watching you for a while, just showing my support to my fellow.
Oh, where is he?
So you might miss that if you skip forward, but that's what
Oh.
he said. I thought you might like to know.
CDM the third, that is so blinking kind, and you've made my day, and you're helping me, as I say, do what I want to do. You know, I eat more animal products than anyone, so I feel horrible about that. And I think if I can do enough of this, by the time I die, if I turn enough people vegan, hopefully I've offset the damage like many-fold and saved millions more animals than I ate, hopefully. And so that's my dream, and you're helping me live my dream, like. And you don't really know me from Adam. You know, you're such a good person. Like, that's, I can't thank you highly enough.
And,
I'll shut up now before I get totes emotion. What?
American Vegan Trucker says, do you have clients in the United States?
I do have clients in the United States. I have clients all over the world. You know, mostly I write nutrition and or workout plans based on the individual stats and needs and likes, dislikes, etc. That's the bulk of my work. I also offer Skype consultations for people who want more general advice. Maybe they've got questions. I charge £50 an hour for a Skype, £30 for a personalised plan, or £50 for like the two plans together. If you're interested, hit me up at henchherbivore.com. Yeah, henchherbivore.com, and you'll see the, you know, that'll get through to my email if you fill out the contact form. And thank you for axing. Oh, and you pop that on there. Vegan Tina, Norwich doesn't have an AV chapter. We've got a huge AV chapter. A huge one. We've got 4 like big screen TVs and all sorts. Thanks to the lovely James Crisp. James Crisp, awesome guy. Daniel is, I've got to go and I see you. And to my vegan buddies. Thanks for joining, brother. Have an awesome morning, afternoon or evening, depending on where you are in the world. Oh, God, his body jumped again. Chickpea Sunny, how many reps per set do you reckon? You know, again, it all depends on your goals. For mass gaining, if you're training like sort of once a week on the different body parts, for most movements, 6 to 12 reps is kind of what we call the hypertrophy rep range. If it's smaller movements like shrugs, any forearm work, calf raises, more like 15 to 25 because of the time under tension, smaller reps. I think that's about optimal. Mr. Earth, I'll use rocks and water buckets for weight. Nice. Very nice. It don't matter how you do it, as long as you're trying to be progressive and, you know, you can do movements in a safe way. You can use whatever you want for weights, really. Tom Pilot, yo man, what would you tell people who go vegan and get like a lot of mucus or phlegm they need to spit out? I don't know why that would be a thing unless you're eating junk foods, would be my guess. It's normally dairy that sort of causes that kind of problem. Other than that, I don't really know, I'm afraid. If you're eating whole foods and that's happening, that's unusual.
Can I draw your attention to a question about,
Yeah.
can you recommend a good vegan iron supplement? Do you recommend Thrive?
I don't know if the iron is on there. Do you want to go and grab it and see? You know, really try to get it from your whole foods. If you're eating plenty of greens and stuff, like, you shouldn't have a problem with iron. As I say, when I write a plan for an average person, there's over 3 times the iron, and I'm just program, and you know, legume, whole grain, vegetables, nuts, seeds, fruit. It's like all in there. And then, you know, you want plenty of vitamin C with the iron as well, something I didn't mention earlier. So luckily with plant foods, they normally come with both.
Oh, I think it's
Yeah. If you do want my recommendation for a supplement, this is the only real multi that I recommend. And it's by Vivo Life, and it's a living multi-nutrient. And what that means is it's not artificially created in a lab from nonsense. This is the curcuma fruit, baobab fruit, spinach, carrot, broccoli, kale, acai. The list goes on. You can see where I'm going. It's whole foods. It's actual real food. And it's got 71% of your iron per serving. If you want to get this stuff, if you've not used Vivo Life before, if you use my code HENGE10 at checkout, UK, Europe, or Canada, or America, 10% off. I'm hoping you're in those places because they don't ship anywhere else currently. That is the only real multi that I recommend. Again, because it's real food. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Jem. Oh, and we've done our little hour stint. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to wrap up there, guys, because I've done my little hour and I need to do other live stuff. I've had the best time this evening. Thank you so much for joining. Guys, if you're new here and you want to learn all about how to optimize your health or sports performance without harming animals or the environment, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified of new live streams. And if you've not seen my Philip Schofield video yet, my latest video, please go and give it a look and watch it through and help me to really boost it out to more people, because that would rock. Guys, thank you so much for joining, and I love you lots. See you soon.